Despite people today have access to food, exercise, and go on diets more than ever before, we are fatter than ever before and get diseases every now and then thinking they just happen, quote unquote, when in chimps this is just never the case. The truth is, as we live in an industrial society, virtually every single thing we eat is toxic in some way. Yeah, we've heard about junk food, but pretty much everything else is also processed, which makes it to some degree also toxic. Like the veggies all have these toxic pesticides and herbicides. The meat is put in terrible conditions, get growth hormones injected. The tap water we drink is contaminated with chloride that causes scarring of the arteries, leading to arteriosclerosis, and fluoride that affects primarily the thyroid gland. Even milk gets pasteurized where the enzymes are killed, which makes that milk unnatural and hard to digest. We are exposed to dangerous high EMF waves and 5G. We breathe so-called air fresheners that contain toxic chemicals. And what we put on our skin as well is often absorbed and, well, can cause diseases, which themselves are being treated by pharmaceuticals that only treat symptoms rather than curing the disease itself. The irony is that these drugs themselves can cause other diseases from their own side effects without you even knowing. Like, we have more toxic chemicals in our bodies than you think. A study showed that women's breast milk contains jet fuel. Yeah, you heard me, jet fuel. And of course, the food industry only keeps getting worse because unless you're brain dead, you'll probably realize that their ultimate goal is for them to make more money by making food as cheap yet as addictive as possible. In the near future, we might start seeing cockroach milk, plant-based meats, and lab-grown steaks from your own cells. And this is all, of course, to save our poor Earth-chan that got too sick from what man did to her.
We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected.
But look, don't panic. I know it's pretty much impossible to go off grid overnight, and I'm not telling you to get fanatical, but I want you to know that the reason why you get sick every now and then, or that you're fat, is probably because of what you're exposed to. Just like taking baby steps to transition from one lifestyle to another will already give you some beneficial changes. And most importantly, you may want to just get rid of junk foods altogether and forever. It is like the worst thing you can ever eat. I know the temptation is high, but from my own personal experience, once you teach yourself about nutrition and health and realize how bad these things can be for you, you start to wean yourself off of them a little bit, and then when you want to eat these things again, you'll weirdly feel guilty, and at the same time, you'll feel better than everyone else for not actually wanting that stuff anymore. There are, of course, lots and lots of stuff to do, which are explained mostly by Dr. Eric Berg, but other things you can do include drinking bottled water, staying away from sugar and white flour, figuring out how to lose some of your belly fat, I guess, getting some good sleep, etc., etc. Like, there's just a fork of lots of things, but just don't stress too much over it, okay? Just remember, your body is still really powerful, but just don't keep weakening it as you did before, alright?